Hey guys, welcome to another Touch Point. These are just short video messages from me to you, and this morning is going to be very short, but I hope that it will be very helpful to you. I want to take just a few minutes and remind you of a source of comfort that is both surprising but very, very important to us, especially during these times of chaos and confusion and uncertainty in our nation. I'm sensing a lot of fear among our folks, our people at our church, and generally in the community as well. You see it on Twitter, you see it on Facebook. People are concerned and they're fearful about where our nation is going and about what is happening, both with the pandemic and with some of the chaos in our cities and just all that seems to be happening and going on. And I want to challenge you to rise above that. I want to challenge you to rise above the temptation to give in to fear. Now, fear is a very real thing, but we don't have to let it dominate our life. And I want to share with you a great tool that will help you overcome the fear that has a tendency to crowd into our life and to cloud up our lives. I saw a cartoon many years ago, and it was a Charlie Brown cartoon, and Peanuts cartoon. Linus and Lucy are looking out the window from inside a house, and it's raining cats and dogs. And Linus speaks first, and he says, "What if it rains so much that it floods the whole world?" And you can tell he's concerned, and he has some fear on his face. Lucy says, that will never happen again because God promised never to destroy the earth again with the flood. Linus, with a sigh of relief, says, "That sure makes me feel better." And Lucy responds with the closing caption of the cartoon by saying, "Sound Theology has a way of doing that." And that is so true. Sound theology, good theology, true theology really does have a way of bringing comfort and causing us to take a load off of our minds and to not be so concerned about things. And so I want to talk about that just for a moment this morning, about theology. You know, simply put, theology means the study of God. But we use it in a broader way today. When I use the word theology, I'm referring to truths about God and the things related to God. So when I speak of theology, I'm talking about what we know about God, what has been revealed about God, and all things pertaining to God and things pertaining to the spiritual world and things of a spiritual nature. And sound theology really can be an anchor for us during times of great chaos, and especially during these times in our nation today. Let me tell you a couple things about theology you should remember. In fact, 3 things real quickly. And then I'm going to get to one particular theological truth that I think can bring us great comfort during these chaotic times. But 3 things about theology I want you to remember. Number 1, it is revealed. We can know about God. God is revealed in His Word primarily, but also in nature and creation and in our own hearts. But primarily through His Word, we can know about God and about spiritual things. Secondly, it is eternal. What is revealed about God is true. It was true yesterday, it's true today, and it's true all the way into the future. It will not change. And so what we know about God's nature and who He is and how He operates does not change from generation to generation or from culture to culture. Our culture changes, but God never changes. And thirdly, theology is very practical. It's not just theoretical or philosophical. Theology really does make a difference in our lives. What we believe about God, what is revealed about God, the truth about God impacts how we live. And I think there's one doctrinal truth, theological truth that has brought me more comfort in the last 3 months. Probably than anything else, and I have anchored my life upon it. And honestly, and I shared this in a meeting just yesterday, the older I get, the more this doctrinal truth, this theological truth about God brings comfort and brings assurance to my life. And that doctrinal truth is simply the sovereignty of God. The sovereignty of God. And what I mean by that is ultimately that God's in control, that God is over all of this, and He has never lost control. And in fact, let me just remind you of 3 things about the sovereignty of God, what that means. Number 1, it means He knows. Nothing surprises God. God is on top of everything. God knows everything. God is never surprised. God knows the past, He knows the present, and He knows the future. And so this coronavirus did not surprise God. This pandemic didn't surprise God. The problems in our nation have not surprised God. He knows. So He knows what's around the next corner for you as well. Secondly, He reigns. And what I mean by that is that nothing knocks Him off of His throne. He is still in control, even though sometimes situations may appear to be chaotic. They may appear to be out of control. God has never lost control of His creation. And so the truth about the sovereignty of God means He reigns, and thirdly, He fixes. He is sovereign that He knows everything. He is sovereign that He reigns over everything. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. But thirdly, He fixes things. God is in the process of repairing, of fixing, of making broken things whole again, of making broken things right again. And here's what I know the Bible teaches, that the ultimate comforting theological truth is that God is going to bring everything back into its proper place. God is going to make everything right. God's making my life right. And even all of creation, God is going to restore and make it right. And so the sovereignty of God brings me incredible comfort. And I want that to bring comfort to you. Remember that God is absolutely in control. He knows, He reigns, and He fixes. So let's trust God. Let's trust His sovereignty. And let's let His sovereignty be a comfort for us, not only today, but throughout this week and throughout this time of chaos in our nation. I hope that helps today. God bless you.